correct medication. They got her on a routine. She's talking. So now it's maybe, it used to be daily, 2, 3 times a day, and now it's maybe 1 or 2 times a week. She stops by. She just wants to know she's not gonna die, so our guys take vitals and then you're not gonna die, and then she goes home. Um, and they're actually bringing people from other counties. That's the thing is, I thought, is it just something to consider? But what we can
Is there anybody online, Kate? It's very small.
You can see, if they're online, they'll pop up right.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering.
Speed stuff. It would need so much money to modernize it. It'll never.
Game, how you been?
Guys are using it for training downstairs.
I cannot.
Cafeteria.
It's work today outside.
I keep, needed to go over on the beach to go say hi.
Yeah.
Go hang out over there. I just haven't installed that.
Yeah, down the road. Basketball for us.
Yes, rented out too. I can't see it. There's a light.
Yeah.
He's standing. Saw Tim McMahon was down the way.
He doesn't drive enough.
That's it. I secretly want to be that.
Oh, really? That's never been.
That's why I love him.
Yeah. Oh, that rain last week, that definitely helped.
So read some more.
Okay.
About like Sunday.
Yeah.
Drinks. Everything's in the ground.
Are they still having rain Monday?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I never complain about the rain.
I think the forecast says there's the slightest possibility of a little drizzle.
No, they turned it up. What's the basis? Got 81%. Then rain into Tuesday.
We're not doing that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Beauty is,
I had a friend
that's
that's
at least through the beginning of June, we have rain about right below 80. So I'm thinking now it's a nice weather, 70.
It's 8 miles long. It's like 2 miles. So I have a lot of nice kids.
You know, we're gonna
Drive that mountain, like every year. Actually, I had
First two.
and in 5th grade, one of my
Oh, like.
Yeah, I think we're thank you, Nathan.
yes. Yeah.
Okay. No, you do. You do. There, walk you right through it. Yes, yes, so the third thing is that you have to elect a chair, then a secretary, then, Eric can take it away. Yeah. I call him KT because that Eric wanted to be, I'm Eric, he's Eric, so I call him KT. I asked him if it's okay, he told me that, but there's only two of us in the room, so I call him Eric.
Ready?
Not referring to myself in third person.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock, 1700 PM on May 21st, and I'm calling the CRFR Budget Committee meeting to order. Stand for the allegiance.
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming. And Chair of the Budget Committee.
So make a motion to select somebody or somebody, anybody would like to be the chair of the budget committee?
Discussion, anybody want to be the chair?
Is there any clear guidelines of what that chair position would do? I know I'm not speaking up because I just don't know.
You just basically run the budget
Yeah.
committee.
Can't go anywhere
And
today.
if you want to board it.
Like Dan or be one of your budget committee members too.
Yeah,
Dan has done in the past,
if nobody's doing it, I'll mention
All right.
it. So just
Okay.
kind of got what you're doing next time, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I mean, your vote.
any other, and you have any
Anybody
other?
else wants to put their hand in the, all right?
Yes, make motion.
All in favor? Aye. Election of secretary of the budget committee. Anybody want to do that?
You guys can also select Kate to do it, because kids are taking notes, so you can, that's all the secretary does is take the notes in the meeting.
Since you have a chair for the budget committee, he's the one that should do that. He should take over now.
That's right. Dan's right. All right, Ira, you got it.
That's not horrible. Sounds like I got it.
So you need to select a secretary. Oh, and you're saying that they can't do it.
Any volunteers?
No, I think so. I can,
No,
think
it
I'm
can't-
already
it can't do
doing
it.
all the minutes, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I can
that
do it.
can't,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you can, yeah.
You guys,
I was like, well, she can't do it. I nominate Kate.
She can do it, or somebody else can be the secretary. And then, but she's the recording secretary.
So, is anybody, is anybody strictly opposed to being the secretary? So everybody's open to it. It's kind of what it is. Has anybody done it before? All right, who are the budget committee members? Can you show me your hands? That's it?
Right here.
Three.
And then Ricky and Katie on the line. Ricky and Kate.
I think you dropped off.
Caitlin, would you mind doing it?
Muted.
Figure I just asked, or somebody could say it's no, right? Before I, or is it normally just? How about Rick? Can you hear us? Would you mind doing it?
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
Mind doing this? Being the secretary, take notes during the budget committee meetings? Can't hear you. You're muted again, Ricky?
Oh, I'm muted, excuse me.
Budget secretary?
Not to take notes, Kate's recording, so.
You wouldn't have to take notes. Kate is recording everything.
Or we can have Kate do it.
I think it'll just be.
Yeah, I think. just have
Go
Kate
ahead,
do it.
make a motion, somebody second it.
Yeah. Make a motion for Kate to do it. Yeah.
I'll second.
Second.
If you're speaking up.
Bye.
Aye.
It gets it done.
Okay.
Next item. No,
Take over right now?
You order in.
All right.
Me chair.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was gonna copy you. All right, so presentation of the proposed budget. Who's gonna be presenting that?
So, Eric Itola. I was just gonna read the message from the chief, if we could, and you guys indulge me for a second, I'll read what I sent you guys in the packet, and then Eric can take over. So to our board of directors, budget committee members, staff, and residents of the fire district, today we are pleased to present the fiscal year 2026-27 balanced budget for Columbia Fire and Rescue. Our district proudly serves the cities of Rainier, Prescott, Columbia City, St. Helens, and the unincorporated areas in central Columbia County. This budget is a living document shaped by diligence, perseverance, and unwavering commitment to deliver the highest quality fire service to our communities. We remain dedicated to upholding the fiscal accountability and responsibility our public deserves. This budget is designed to meet the real world challenges our members encounter every day. Columbia Fire and Rescue staff 2 12-hour ambulances, Division 9, ensuring 20 hours of daily coverage by highly trained EMTs and paramedics that augment our fire staff stations. The addition of the Division 9 medical units enabled our fire personnel to dedicate their time to advanced training in structural firefighting, wildland urban interface response, vehicle extrication, and hazard materials incidents. We deeply appreciate their outstanding care and service provided by our Division 9 EMS staff to the emergency services, the public, and then the entire district. Public services continually asked to take on expanding roles and responsibilities in our communities, often without increase in financial support. The staff of Columbia Fire Rescue and is committed to maximizing every dollar, consistently seeking innovative ways to reduce expenses and enhance our cost-saving measures. I want to commend our fleet, logistics, EMS, personal protective equipment, uniforms, and administrative staff for identifying multiple cost savings opportunities that have saved the district not just a few dollars, but thousands. Their efforts have significantly streamlined our fire district's operations. Our members' dedication and professionalism drive them to pursue innovative solutions, create new opportunities, and address challenges head-on. As a result, the district can reduce costs while expanding services. Over the past 36 months, the district has achieved extraordinary progress, emerging from a precarious position into a remarkable revival once considered out of reach. This transformation required unwavering dedication and sacrifice at every level of our organization. We're proud to say we've not only survived but flourished. Recognizing our past financial challenges, we are confident in our ability to sustain the positive momentum and reach even greater heights as the district. It is truly a team effort. We'll move forward with both confidence and prudence, dedicating ourselves each year to building resilience while ensuring effective staffing of our within our financial means. This year, we have sustained the critical staffing increase we have worked hard to achieve and remain focused on a future where our well-equipped team meets the needs of our citizens every day. Our budget reflects a steadfast commitment to sacrifice, dedication, transparency for our members and the community we proudly serve. By fostering teamwork, respect, and understanding, we pave the way for a brighter future, one where our citizens trust they are served by the nation's finest EMS and fire personnel. Together, we will all achieve excellence and ensure safety and the well-being of everyone in our care. Thank you. Eric?
Hello, my name is Eric Haitola. Some people's faces look familiar. Could we start with you and just say everyone's name?
Yeah, I'm Ira Swanson. This was, I think, my second year on the budget committee.
Okay. Mark Anderson, Director.
Rick Fletcher, director.
Wants to do it, budget, remember?
Dan Garrison, budget.
Eric's my party.
Austin said they're coming on director.
Right, Eric. I know.
That's Kate. We know you. And Aaron, and then we got Aaron back there.
Okay. So the first page we can go to is this property tax overview page. The thing to look at in this page is the general fund permanent rate. The estimated general fund total levy, they're estimating a $9.9 million raised. But we are assuming a just under 95% collection rate, so estimating a $9.4 million collection in property tax. And then there's some charts down below, a chart and a graph down below that just are expressing the property taxes collected over time. And then we can turn over to page 10, which is just a summary of all the resources and requirements. This is like the main summary piece, everything. These are all the funds together. We've got the beginning fund balance, the property taxes, the charges for services, interest, miscellaneous revenue of 900,000, which probably everyone already knows why it's like that, but we'll get to that when we get to the general fund, and transfers from other funds. Then the lower half of it is talking about the expenditures by category. So personnel services, materials and services, the capital outlay, debt transfer contingencies, and the ending fund balance. So over on page 11, I don't want to dwell on this too much because we're going to get on into all the detail, but this sheet here is showing all the resources by fund. This year we have 4 funds for the district, and we've got the general fund, which is the main operating fund. The RSVP fund and the grant fund have either very light or no activity in them. And then the other fund is the capital fund, which has activity in it. And again, these are the resources. And if we flip over to page 12, it's the same 4 funds, but again, we're looking at the different requirement categories. Personnel, M&S, capital outlay, and all that. And we're going to get into the detail, so let's just blow past this. And
Eric, hang on 1 second. Ricky, can you hear Eric?
Yeah, I can hear everybody just fine.
Sorry, I have to make sure that you hear.
So let's go over to the general fund, which is on page, well, we can look at some charts. On page 15, here we're showing a pie chart of the different, kind of the size of all the different types of resources. Property tax taking up more than half. The next biggest one being beginning fund balance. And then the green area is charges for services with fines, miscellaneous and transfers being fairly small. We can flip over to page 16 and look at all the expenditures in a pie chart by category, which shows personnel services maybe around 70%. M&S probably around 20, and then the other categories fairly small compared to those two. Let's see. What's this? Let's go over to page 18. And this is the beginning of the general fund. So page 18 is all of the resources in the general fund. We have like $9.4 million in property tax, $2.4 million in charges for services, 100,000 in interest income. And then in miscellaneous revenue, we've got 930,000, which you guys are probably aware of this $900,000 insurance refund that's coming. This is kind of an oddball in a miscellaneous revenue category, but this is not something you plan for. This is a miscellaneous incident. So there is this $900,000 showing in this insurance refund.
Eric, can I make a quick comment on that?
Absolutely.
So for our budget committee members, we had a fire here at the training ground, burned up what we call the LVTC station. We have a training room upstairs. We lost an ambulance and a lot of equipment. And so in the working through with the insurance company, they are going to reimburse us for the repairs. We have to identify it in the budget so we can spend it this next fiscal year as they make the repairs and replace the things that were damaged or destroyed. So I just want to make sure you guys understood. Maybe you didn't know we burned up a station. So it'll be fixed. That's what the money's for. Sorry, Eric.
Okay. And
And
then,
then
Just like,
nitpicky little thing, I'm
sure.
okay. That page is not, number 17 is not numbered.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think it might be, I was wondering what that is. I think it might just be a duplicate of another page.
It's just a little inconsistency.
Yes. You are absolutely right. And then the last thing on the resource thing is the $4.2 million as the beginning fund balance. We should pause and talk about that. Because one of the things that Kate and the chief and I did was look through how 26 has been performing. And we estimated how much was going to be spent by the end of the year to come up with what we think is going to be left over at the end of 26, which is June 30th of 26. So like 5 weeks away. And so this number is much larger than what was in the budget, and that's from good management. I just want to point that out. So I wonder what it is. It was intentional by these two and working with them for the whole year. So.
Real quick, Eric, and get for the budget committee, just a reminder. So we live on tax revenue, and then ambulance revenue is what the department operates with. From July 1st through November 1st, we do not, other than ambulance revenue, we don't have anything. So this is the fact the department lives off of until we get back to our tax rolls, which is in November, which Oregon only does once a year. Yeah, so that 4.2 is for us to survive, make payroll, take care of vehicles and stuff for the next 4 months.
Okay, good point. That's extremely important. All right, so if we flip over to 19, we're starting to look at the requirements here. Page 19 is just personnel, and we did a lot of work over the last few months, getting these numbers as tight as possible. There was a lot of labor negotiations and stuff that these two did, so we put a lot of effort in making sure that these numbers are accurate. We can flip over to page 20, and the materials and services start here.
Talk about 19 per minute.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I noticed we've got a category line, about fifth line down, battalion chief expenses. And on that, it really jumped in last year's budget on that. I see it's up again on there, but we also have battalion chief expenses on page 20. And then about 3/4 of the way down on it.
So on 20, the battalion chief shift expense was placed there last year because we were contracting out for neighboring fire districts to pick up shifts. And this year we did not do that, so that will be zeroed out this year. So for the line item on the personnel services, the battalion chief shift expenses are fees paid to current employees for coverage.
It just looked odd being in two places.
Yes, you're right.
The one on 20 is zeroed out, but don't like that.
Yeah, that's true. It was just presentation. of it. Yeah,
It doesn't refresh my memory, but isn't it like you have to show up for a certain amount of years before it can drop off? So if you make line items on there, then they ask to stay, even though it's a zero balance.
Yes.
That is correct. And also part of the split is when the shift expenses are being paid to employees of the fire district, then those are personnel service costs. But what she was talking about paying out other fire agencies, that is M&S, so they do have to show in different locations depending on who's getting paid.
I just think on that, they should have been, the other could have been labeled differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be more clear.
Can I ask a question about that as well?
Absolutely.
On that battalion, on page 19, the battalion, shift expenses, it starts in 26. Is there a reason? Did it come from somewhere else and it's been like moved around? Because there was nothing before that. Is there?
Yes, it was rolled into base salaries and we peeled it out of base salaries.
That's why it doesn't show in the previous budgets. None of that.
Yeah, thank you.
The one that obviously really jumped out at me was PERS.
Yeah, so
It went up a little bit.
PERS,
That's
that's
everywhere.
part of the negotiation with the CBA and absorbing the 6% that the employees pay. That will be now absorbed by the employer.
Yeah, and I didn't see, I mean, got quite a bit of carryover on it. I didn't see anything in the past. We have set up a PERS reserve on that at times on that. And I know we're looking at a big hit this coming year on PERS, and then 2 years down the road, we got another big hit.
Yeah,
That I think it might be prudent to at least consider on that, setting up a PERS reserve so you're not sucked so hard when those come into play.
yeah, that's a good idea.
The other one on that caught my attention was the disability insurance.
Oh, at 19 or 20. So I'm like,
19.
So 19, yes, on that, sorry, on that, maybe fifth, sixth from the bottom.
Yes. I'll take,
It shows last year on that was budgeted for, was 200,000 and this year it's 21,000.
yes, sir. I'm gonna take the hit on that because last year I estimated that number wrong. I used the wrong factor in my worksheet and it was off by a factor of 10.
That's what it looked like.
so you're at a decimal point. Yeah.
Or I needed an explanation because something bad happened.
Just glad you did it in that direction, not the other.
Exactly. And just again, this is a budget number. This is not what they really spent. So,
Right, yeah, it's the proposed budget from last year.
yeah.
That's all I have on 19.
Anybody else have any questions for Eric on 19?
Nothing in sick leave, is there a reason?
Yeah. I just wondered.
Yeah, so sick leave, that part of also the CBA negotiations, we are swirling that money away to the HRA Viva contributions. So when we have a retiree and we cash out their sick leave, it rolls right into their HRA Viva.
Is that why people went up?
Yes.
Yeah, so Viva went up by about 75,000 this year.
So the last contract negotiation was there were two, so previously, if somebody was to retire and they had sick leave, they could cash out their sick leave, they get a check from the department. Well, the federal government got most of it. And so through discussion was in order to make it go into their Viva, which is their post-employment health. It was actually a cost savings to the employees when it happened. So we had to bump that up. So that's why there's no sick leave. They only got one or the other. It was either keep getting payout or we go to Viva, and they all voted to go to Viva. So That's why the VIVA went up, is we're no longer gonna be doing sick leave payout. There'll be no checks given for that. Just their vacation.
I have one more question on page 19, sorry. The proposed 27 for overtime is quite a bit less, which is great, but I mean, are there processes or some systems in place that are gonna keep that overtime or not? Why is that projection?
So the projection is low as part of our negotiation with the union. We have been short-staffed for a period of time. We've lost people to other agencies to retirement and getting folks online. And so once we're fully staffed, which we will be here in about 45 days, the overtime will get back down to a point where it's manageable. This year, Kate and I watch it, like a hawk, and we're even under the amount that we have this year, projected. So just our budget versus actual is showing, so we're trending under, but in order for them, for their, first pickup, we had to find some money somewhere to balance it up, so they agreed they would do their best not to abuse the overtime, and we'll go from there, so.
Okay.
Well, we'll be monitoring it.
When you were saying running out of personnel, like understaffing, weren't meeting that 44.5
Correct.
staff members, you were always.
We were always struggling.
Trying
We
to,
get close and then we fall back. We
Okay.
get close again, we fall back. Well, we are now,
and that's the threshold we're trying to stay at,
Yeah.
and that's the threshold that is expected that we won't have the overtime that we've had in the
Yes, ma'am.
past. Perfect, thank you.
What was our actual at for this year?
Right now, we're sitting at about 600,000, and we're at the end of May, so I have 2 months to. And I think we can pull it off. I mean, to be honest, May and June are gonna be your heavier overtime months, because I have more people going out on vacation, using up all the time before that fiscal year ends.
Okay.
any other questions?
The three of us worked pretty hard on this, and Kate and the chief reviewed these M&S numbers repeatedly and really tightened them up, so I feel like the numbers that are on here are pretty accurate. People have questions about anything in particular?
I have a question going back to page 8, and I did talk to Chief about this before, but I just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on it. So we have the collection rate, it has been trending down. What assumptions were there for that 94.8%?
I do probably 3 different things. So one of the things is you get this property tax collection worksheet from the state that they tell you exactly how to fill it in. So I filled that in and reviewed what the percentage was. Another thing I did was, I don't remember how many years, probably, I usually try to do more than 10, so it was probably between 10 and 15 years worth of data where I pulled how much property tax was collected over time. And then in Excel, I use this forecast formula that tells me what it thinks it will be for 27. And also Kate worked up an estimate that we reviewed too. And so we looked at the 3 of them, and they were all within $100,000 for 27. And we have to be conservative, or we should be conservative, so we picked a lower number. But I've only been here less than 2 years working, but I do know that there was some issues with the assessor, the county assessor turning over. The person that worked on this previously said that the assessor would give a number and then the dollar amount would come in significantly different, lower. So we're kind of gun shy on what the assessor says, right? So,
we've gone under what the assessor,
Yes.
the assessed projected rate
yes,
of collection is.
yes.
I'm just wondering if that's a little aggressive or cruel, like we are kind of still looking for something a little more promising than we've had in the past couple of years, and given, a lot of unemployment, we have all those macroeconomic conditions that have to take into consideration when you're looking at those formulas and trying to structure those. I'm just kind of curious,
Yes.
if if there was any thought into the macroeconomics.
Yes, we did talk about that a lot.
Okay. Okay,
They wanted it to be more conservative than me,
okay.
but I'm just looking at Excel formulas, right?
I'm an
I'm,
Excel person, I speak that language, so yeah.
right, so I'm just looking at the data and
Okay,
I kind of focus on that. They know these other factors of the community, so I defer to them. And be more conservative is okay.
Also, we're using 95%.
are you? Okay, that, I just wanted to get some clarification and have a discussion about it, because it does kind of flag me when I see it going down, down, down. Up.
Yes,
Oh, perfect,
Yep.
thank you.
okay.
I got a question on page 20, the apparatus fuel, that been going up or is that?
So last year, we projected $6 a gallon, is what we projected, and so that's what we built in, and that's where we're at right now, so we're. I mean, short of a shooting war with nuclear weapons, I think we think we're comfortable with $6 a gallon seems to be holding us at the right place, and we're still under.
Where we at now?
Where are we at right now?
Yeah.
We're at 84 right now. I just cut all in. I think this is me. Yeah, we're fine. We're doing good right now.
So, just kind of piggyback with everybody's questions about. We don't hit that collection rate, PERS is going up, insurance is going up, gas is going up. Might be a good idea to try and set a balance for, or set a budget on the reserves. So we'll put this much in the reserves on a yearly basis, just because we know costs are going up in so many areas. Formalizing something like that is, I think, would be a good idea. It's kind of in the budget.
Yeah, like a policy where you would hold some amount of reserves based on some other number.
Yeah, so if I'm reading the budget right now, it looks like we're reserves of 400,000 one year, 500,000 another year, but, is this the same?
That would be the contingency. So contingency is if something comes up that we didn't foresee. And it allows the board to, there's some funds there to utilize, because if it's locked up in unappropriated fund balance, which is the cash carry forward stuff. If that's locked up in there, then we can't touch it. But so contingency allows the board and myself, if we had something come away to buy name us, one blew up or something, it allows us to have that. So we do have contingency if we have not had to dip into it, except the one time we bought a fire engine this year. So we did dip into it because we did not plan on buying a fire engine this year.
Yeah, so just a reserve or contingency that would address the specific, that we know things are rising and then unemployment's going, we're gonna lose more property taxes, just things like that. So that's holding something on reserve that in case we do take those hits all at the same time, right after another. It's just a suggestion now.
That's right.
Is there a contingency amount, like a certain percentage that is put into a contingency fund?
There is a contingency, if you look at page 21. Let's see, where is it? It's set up at 400,000 this year.
Right. Okay.
And I don't want to skip ahead off page 20 if people are still looking at that. But we could talk about this piece right now. The one thing that's kind of different in here this year is transfers out is $1.2 million. And what that is the normal, not the normal, but the 300,000. Yes, the 300,000 that was already going to go to the capital outlay fund. We added the 900,000 that's the insurance refund, because that needs to get transferred to the capital fund for the projects that are done. So this is a much larger number than normal. I just wanted to explain why.
That makes sense.
Right.
Training and education were up quite a bit. Not so much for the move, but they've historically down.
So training and education, we're looking at line item.
Is that a research year this year?
Yes, we did. So the number of personnel we have, we do bring in outside instructors, which is a cost of the district for ACLS, advanced cardiac life support, pediatric advanced life support, And so we built that in there for those classes. Chief Strasburger wants to bring PHTLS, which is pre-hospital trauma life support. And so those classes cost us, we don't have instructors in-house. It's hard to maintain the instructor in-house, so we have to bring a third party in. We bumped up the amount because it's a research year and you just have to keep our guys up to the level.
I was more curious if there was something that changed on that, there was additional training necessary.
Well, PHTLS is new. We've never, it has not been required by our agency, but the crew would like to take that on. And so we can bring another instructor in, and it's between $5,000 and $10,000 per time we bring an instructor in. So we bumped it up to compensate for that class. It was, but the problem is that you have to be associated. The problem with having an instructor, you have to be associated with an educational facility. And then you have to teach more than just the one class for us. You have to teach for other, and so most of our folks don't have time for that. So it's just easier for us to pay a third party to come in.
Are there different intervals for some of the things that are coming? Is this a heavier year for intervals for recertifications and stuff? Or no?
So we have a large number of new people. Most of them just started. And so we're trying to get them on the cycle where we're all on the same cycle. So everybody gets ACL. So they did ACLs and PALS this year. Our goal was to have one every other year and then throw PHTLS in there. So they'll take 2 classes 1 year, 1 class, the off year.
We still on page 20?
Yeah.
On the IT services, if you look at how it's trending, specifically this year, the hardware and everything, I'm just assuming everything kind of all together goes, gets timed up, right?
And that's what this year is that our computers are at their milk expiration date and we gotta throw them out. We're gonna throw them out, but we have to upgrade to newer systems. So we have to bump that up a little bit to compensate for the newer computer systems.
Everybody's really incurring a lot of costs in IT. Security issues have become really prevalent. Everybody is preparing us for AI so that they can sell us AI in larger dollar quantities.
But that's where I was going with that. Might be a good idea to also include, we expect in 2 years, another big hit like this. Something like that in next budgeting for the future, just to have fund that builds up to that. So it's not such a big year hit. Okay, because we do know though, just, the greatest computer we're looking at today, 3.5 years from now is, you wish you had a better one. So it's not gonna do what you want it to do.
We've got quite a jump in the personal protective equipment.
Yeah.
Is it
So
a few years ago, when I say a few, it might be 10, so, yeah, we were really behind on our protective equipment, and we had to go through a big jump in expenses to get the equipment in proper condition. When I saw the amounts in the last couple of years, I was concerned that we're falling behind. That we have fallen behind again, and we're going to catch up.
we didn't fall behind. So in 2019, Dyno Nobel, which is now Clean River Nitrogen, was required to pay out a large sum of money for a fine. They were instead of paying the fine, they were to buy turnouts and SCBA's for Columbia Fire Rescue and Scappoose Fire. So turnouts have an expiration date of about 10 years. So we're in year 26, going into 27. The turnouts we got in 2019 are about 2 years away from failing. So are not failing, being out, no longer being used serviceable. And so Chief Wonderly is, we increased it to purchase, on average, we have about 40 to 50, and we're gonna buy 15 sets or 20 sets, and the cost of them have gone up significantly. Each bill buy set turnouts about $2,500, and now we're closer to $5,000. So we have planned for it. So we're basically in 3 years, everybody should have a new set of turnouts.
That's probably what I was thinking about on it. Yeah, I have a line item EMS supplies with nothing budgeted to it, which seemed kind of odd to me.
That one is also a line item that was rolled into another line item to combine
Medical supply.
for medical supplies for EMS.
Medical supply. So the word that was gonna go away. When it says medical supply.
Medical supplies and pharmaceuticals. It was a little bit redundant.
I figured it went someplace else. I mean, I didn't think we could get by with no supply.
Any questions on 20 or 21?
I didn't think accounting fees ever went down.
Oh, in your line of work, no, damn, it should keep going up. Yeah.
Oh, well, on that, the auditors are always worse than the tax people are on that. I just was really surprised to see that. Didn't go up dramatically.
So and Kate can speak to this too. So the previous couple of years, we were behind on our audits. And so we had to pay more to have several audits on to get us up to. So this reflects now we are actually flush with the state. We're just doing a audit. We're not doing 3, we're not doing 2, we're just doing 1. So that's why it didn't go down, but we just had a lot. We had 3 audits that year.
Oh, we're not doing any more catch
No,
up.
sir, we were caught up.
Another question on is the last item on there, is the GMET fees and match.
So GMT stands for Ground Emergency Medical Transport. This is the Medicare funds that we have to. The way we have to get money in through this system is we have to send them money to get money back. It is the goofiest thing I've ever seen. That's all I'm gonna say. So we have to budget for that to be able to send off to get the funds we're entitled. We have to send them money and then they turn around and write a check back to us with the amount. So we have to budget for that.
ODOT does that with road stuff on that. You gotta send them money and then they send you more back.
And that's what GMT does, sir, yes.
Okay, the RSVP fund. This one doesn't have any activity coming up.
That was the reserve, the volunteer, senior volunteer program. We haven't had it for a number of years, but again, we get it dropped off. We have to carry 3 years.
And then we've got the grant fund, which is starting on page 26. Again, no activity happening this year.
Are you seeing the opportunities for grants drying up?
They just opened. With the closure of the federal government, some of the struggles that they've been having at the federal level, they just opened, with their AFG grant that, we'll probably, seeking for radios, but it'll be a countywide grant. So, but no, they just opened up. We have not seen grants in that period of time.
I know they don't, the current administration doesn't like grants.
Okay, capital fund next, starting on 29. This one has some beginning fund balance and some interest income, and then it's that $1.2 million transferred from the general fund. I guess we could look at page 30, and they're essentially the same. Then in the requirements section, we have the building improvements at 900,000. That's the insurance funds, and then the apparatus is budgeted at 300,000.
Ambulance.
Yes, yeah, for new ambulance, yes, sir.
Are we doing that annually now?
Yes, we have to.
How many miles were we putting on the first hour here?
Somewhere between 60 and 70
What is your interval for replacement?
this year's.
All right, so those are all the funds. In the appendix, we have transfer details in here, which we just talked about, the 300 and 900,000 from the general fund to capital fund. And then we have the personnel summary on the back page that details the FTEs of each of the position titles. It's the same as last year.
there any more comments? Any comments? Any discussion? Anybody online have any discussion?
No, I think everything that I was curious about was kind of covered. Everything looks pretty square.
Is there any public comment?
Online. Final, or here.
And do I need to formally close one section and go to the next line item on the, on this?
So you call for public comment. Well, actually, you can do committee discussion. Basically, so at this point, obviously, we've answered the questions. If you guys have other questions, we discussion, talk about the budget. I mean,
Sure.
our goal is to make this as transparent as we possibly can. Next year, it'll probably be shorter because obviously the RSVP and is gonna drop off. And so we're trying to make this where everybody knows where every penny is, where every penny comes from, where it goes.
I would just say that this is probably the cleanest budget I've seen. That was very good. I think you guys have really trimmed the tap, so to speak, on a lot of this, because first year I was involved in this, it was a really ugly budget. It was really ugly budget. So this was really easy to read, all my questions were answered, so thank you. I'm really satisfied with it, so.
Thank you.
Put that on Facebook. It's not that long ago, years ago. Yeah.
Oh,
Beginning balance is impressive.
It's been a work in progress and clearly it's a team effort to get to where we are now. And I feel very comfortable where we are and we can maintain and we can be able to continue to provide services. And I feel good enough, the irony of your point is there's funds in there if for some reason maybe it did come in a little less than what the county projected. We have enough fat on the bone now to be able to go, okay, hey, if they came in $200,000, we still have the unappropriated fund balance and the cash carry forward that it'll be a little less, but at least we know that. And and 9 times out of 10, it comes back to next year anyway. So,
Okay.
and that's where we feel good. I mean, I rely heavily on KT to trend this out and to look at it. And, you know, Kate and I look at the local effects of it and where we want to be as diligent. We want to be as on top of it as possible. So we look at this every month.
When is the CDA told that we need working side? What are they voting on?
They put it out today, at least that's what their vice president told me. So the goal is they'll put it out. They have 7 days. They have to have a special meeting, which will probably be next week. They can vote on it at that meeting. And so most likely we would have a special meeting before the June 11th meeting to, you know, if they agree to the contract and they vote yes on it, then it would bring to the board. We can have review with you guys and then you guys can review and the president of the union would sign. That would be done.
Then they don't have to, you guys are gonna have to go back.
The budget's the budget. So so in all fairness to them, we talked about that we're not gonna do this again. We cannot build a budget with KT and do all the stuff we do 3 months out trying to negotiate a union contract. We need to start earlier, get to where we're gonna be. We'll have trends. What the beauty is with this contract is with the PERS pickup that they are requesting. We are 0-0-0 COLAs for the next 3 years. And so we have 3 years where we allow the budget to grow and we'll be able to see the trends. And so they recognize where we are. They recognize they don't want to go back to where we were. So they've been very helpful and we do interest-based bargaining. So it is not adversarial. We don't go back and forth, you know, yelling at each other or passing notes back and forth. It's been great for the last 36 months, the way it should be. So we work together to keep the ship afloat.
All right, any additional comments before we move to the motion? Motion to oppose the tax levy?
I'll make a motion to impose the. Do I need to?
You have to read it, yes.
Motion to include.
That's right.
That's that 297
Correct.
All right, I'll make a motion to impose the tax rate levied at 297.31 per thousand.
Second. All in favor?
Discussion. Ask some discussion.
Discussion.
Yeah, discussion. It's okay. It's all
Any
good.
questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to oppose. Thank you. Motion to oppose the tax levy passed. And any discussion? Okay, somebody make a motion to approve the budget.
Do I just make a motion? I'll make a motion to approve the budget. Do I need to read anything?
I think you, again, I believe you can say the. You gotta read that. All 31 pages, Mark. No, you can make a motion to say the budget as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
I'll second. Is there any discussion on the to approve the budget? Any discussion from online?
No.
There was. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any nays? Okay. The motion to approve the budget passed.
So, as, Mr. Chair, before you, adjourn the budget committee meeting, Mr. Garrison and Ms. Dudek, you guys are up for your position this year. Would you like to be considered, would you like the board to consider you for next year's budget committee, or go to renew, are you up? Okay.
I'll make a motion.
No, you do it at the board meeting. You do it at the board meeting.
All right, motion to adjourn? Do I gotta do that? Motion to adjourn. Okay,
Same time.
time is 5:48 or 17:48, and the meeting is adjourned.
Next time I'll be battle.
We will get to the gavel. All right.
In the crown.
The crowd? Oh, you did that. I didn't see you in the gavel.
Fantastic. Every out there.
I'm just gonna keep asking what they say.
Well, Ricky, again,
Go by it's about 45 minutes.
Catherine, Ricky, we really do appreciate you guys, getting it online and be here for the meeting. So thank you guys for taking the time with me. Really appreciate your assistance.
Thank you for having
Absolutely.
me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for all the hard work on the budget, guys. We appreciate y'all. Have a good one, okay?
Thank you guys. Have a good
Good
night.
night.
I gotta get back to work, so thanks, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Back. See you guys.
You have 10 minutes, your general board meeting. So, Eric, thank you for taking the drive up here, and
Absolutely.
it's a beautiful day for a driver.